Part 1, The Awakening and Rules 1-2, The Anatomy of a Lie. There is a conversation happening in your head right now. It is a quiet whisper, seductive and dangerous. It tells you that tomorrow will be better. It tells you that you are too tired, too broken, or too busy. We call these excuses. But the Stoics had a different name for them. They called them lies. An excuse is nothing more than a well-crafted lie you tell yourself to avoid the pain of change. And the tragedy is, you believe it. You have become the architect of your own prison. But if you are watching this, something inside you has shifted. You are tired of the sound of your own voice complaining. Good. That discomfort is the death of the old you. Today, we are not here to motivate you. Motivation is for children. We are here to dismantle your weakness. We are going to look at 6 ruthless Stoic rules that will destroy every excuse you have ever made. This is not a lecture. It is an exorcism of your weaker self. Let us begin. Rule 1. You are not special, the death of the victim. Rule number 1, you are not special, and that is your power. The most dangerous excuse in the modern world is the belief that your suffering is unique. You tell yourself, I have trauma, I have bad genetics, I wasn't born rich. The Stoics would look at you and ask, so what? Marcus Aurelius, the emperor of Rome, buried his own children. He fought wars in freezing mud. He was surrounded by plague and betrayal. And yet he never once wrote, "Why me?" He wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." When you believe you are special or cursed, you give yourself permission to stay broken. You treat your pain like a pet that needs to be fed. Stop it. You are not uniquely broken. You are just unwilling to do the work. The moment you realize that millions have suffered more than you and achieved more than you, your excuses crumble. You are not a victim of the universe. You are a victim of your own ego. Strip away the story of your special pain, and all that is left is the work you are avoiding. Rule 2. Feelings are information, not commands. Rule number 2. Feelings are real, but they are not your master. This is where 99% of people fail. They wait to feel ready. They wait to feel motivated. Let me tell you a dark truth. If you wait until you feel like doing it, you will die waiting. The Stoics understood that emotions are just biological signals. They are like the weather. Sometimes it rains, sometimes it is sunny. But a soldier does not stop fighting because it is raining. Epictetus taught that it is not the event that stops us, but our judgment of the event. When you wake up and feel tired, that is just a feeling. It is not a command to go back to sleep. When you feel fear, that is just a feeling. It is not a command to run away. The strongest version of you acts in spite of how you feel. You must learn to decouple your action from your emotion. Treat your feelings like a child screaming in the backseat of a car. You hear them, but you do not let them drive. The moment you stop asking your feelings for permission is the moment you become dangerous. Part 2. The Illusion of Control and the Trap of Comfort. Rule 3. You control less than you think, the power of surrender. Rule number 3. Accept that you are not the master of the universe. Excuses often wear a mask of responsibility. You say, I can't start because the economy is bad, or I can't succeed because people are against me. You are obsessed with the outside. The Stoics had a ruthless clarity about this. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself every morning, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." Listen carefully. You do not control the weather. You do not control the traffic. You do not control the opinions of your enemies or the loyalty of your friends. When you make an excuse based on something you cannot control, you are committing a slow suicide of the soul. You are essentially saying, "I am a slave to my environment." The strongest version of you focuses 100% of its energy on the only thing that matters, your response. Stop wasting your breath complaining about the cards you were dealt. Play the hand. The moment you stop fighting reality is the moment you start building your empire. Excuses are just a way of avoiding the work that is right in front of you. Rule 4. Comfort is the most honest enemy. Rule number 4. Comfort is not a reward. It is a trap. No one ruins their life with one big mistake. It happens in the dark, through the small, comfortable choices. It's the extra 30 minutes in bed. It's the just one more episode. It's the decision to avoid a difficult conversation. Seneca warned us, difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body. If your life feels stagnant, it is because you have made peace with your prison. Comfort numbs the hunger. It makes you soft. It makes you believe that tomorrow is a real place where work gets done. Stoicism teaches voluntary discomfort, not because we hate ourselves, but because we want to be ready. Cold showers, hard floors, silent work, and intense discipline. Why? Because when you are comfortable with being uncomfortable, excuses lose their power over you. You cannot be manipulated by your own laziness if you have already mastered the art of suffering. Ruthlessly hunt down your comforts and kill them before they kill your potential. Rule 5. Time is running whether you act or not. Rule number 5. Memento mori. Remember that you are dying. This is the rule that silences every lie. We make excuses because we subconsciously believe we are immortal. We think we have time to fix things later. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." Your procrastination is a form of arrogance. You are assuming the universe owes you another sunrise. It doesn't. One day the clock will stop. One day your tomorrow will never come. On that day your excuses will mean nothing. They won't comfort your family, they won't build your legacy, and they won't save your soul. The Stoic does not fear death. The Stoic fears a wasted life. Urgency is the only cure for excuses. Stop treating your life like a rehearsal. This is the main event. Every second you spend explaining why you haven't done it is a second stolen from the person you could have been. Time is the only thing you can never buy back. Stop spending it on lies. Part 3. The Master of Self. Rule 6. Become the person who needs no excuses. Rule number 6. Build an identity that makes excuses impossible. Most people think character is something you are born with. They are wrong. Character is a series of choices made in the dark when no one is watching. At the end of Stoicism, there is no trophy. There is no applause. There is only inner alignment. It is that quiet, heavy sense of peace that comes when your actions finally match your values. Epictetus said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." When you live a life of excuses, you are carrying a heavy, invisible weight. You are constantly negotiating with your own weakness, trying to convince yourself that your laziness is okay. But when you become a person of discipline, life becomes lighter. You don't need to explain yourself anymore. You don't need to justify why you didn't show up. You simply show up. You become the mountain that the wind cannot move. Excuses are the language of the person you used to be. Today, you start speaking a different language, the language of results, the shadow work. Who are you becoming? Voice gets even slower and darker if this video made you feel uncomfortable. Good. That is your conscience waking up. It is the part of you that knows you have been lying to yourself. You know exactly which excuses you have been polishing until they sound reasonable. You know exactly what you should have started a year ago. Stoicism doesn't judge you for your past. It simply stands there calm and unmoved and asks you one ruthless question. Who are you becoming if nothing changes? Not tomorrow, not next year, but quietly every single day. If you continue to choose comfort over character, you already know how your story ends. It ends with regret. It ends with the ghost of the person you could have been standing over your grave. But you are still breathing, which means the door is still open. Stop the noise. Stop the distractions. Stop the lies. Strip life down until there is nothing left to hide behind. Just you, your choices, and the consequences. The world is loud and a disciplined mind is rare. Be that rarity. If you stayed until the end, you are the 1%. You are the architect we build for on this channel. Prove it to yourself. Comment "no more lies" below. It is a contract with your future self. Subscribe to join the Iron Stoic. We don't offer motivation, we offer clarity. The old version of you stayed for the excuses. The new version of you stays for the truth. Now go do the work.